Here's the thing about the Pixel 11 Pro specifically. Google shipped it with Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and a display Google says is roughly twice as scratch-resistant as before. That's a genuinely tougher panel than last year. So the question isn't, does this protector survive a drop? Most 9H glass will chip before the phone screen does. The real question is whether the edges actually seat flush against a curved display without trapping air, lifting under a case, or fogging up over time. That's what's separating the back of this list from the front. One of these 5 is going to be the one we're still recommending a year from now, but 2 of them have a problem you won't notice until week 3. At number 5, we've got the Ringke Easy Slide 2-pack. This is Ringke's tempered glass protector built specifically for the Pixel 11 Pro and standard Pixel 11, since both phones share the same 6.3-inch panel and cutout layout. It uses Ringke's Easy Slide installation tray, which is genuinely one of the more foolproof application systems on the market. The glass is preloaded into a plastic guide. You slide it down onto the screen, and a built-in dust removal layer catches particles before they get trapped underneath. For a first-time installer, that matters more than people give it credit for. Most bad reviews on tempered glass products trace back to a botched install, not a bad product. The honest catch: Ringke cuts the glass with what it calls 2.5D edges, a slight bevel at the border rather than true edge-to-edge coverage that runs into the curve of the display. On a flat panel, that's a non-issue. On the Pixel 11 Pro's gently curved glass, it means you'll see a very thin, uncoated margin right at the outer edge where the screen itself curves away. It won't affect touch response or crack risk, but if you're the type who notices a millimeter of exposed glass, you'll notice it here. It's also worth knowing this exact protector shares a listing family with versions cut for the Pixel 11 Pro XL. So double-check the packaging specifies the 6.3-inch Pro variant and not the XL before you buy. Verdict: this is a genuinely competent, easy-to-install protector. It's ranked last here because the edge coverage is the least aggressive of the 5, not because the glass itself is weak. Best for someone installing their first screen protector ever and wanting zero installation anxiety. If you want tighter edge coverage without giving up an easy install, the next pick swaps Ringke's tray system for a fully automated alignment frame. At number 4, the amFilm OneTouch brings amFilm's auto alignment system to the Pixel 11 Pro. The glass sits inside a 4-layer plastic frame that clips onto the phone, and one controlled push seats the entire protector in about 30 seconds with no freehand guesswork. amFilm builds this exact mechanism across its whole current Pixel lineup, including the version sized for the Pixel 11 Pro XL. And it's held up well enough in third-party buyer feedback that it's become one of the more commonly recommended budget options for this generation of Pixel. The main thing that separates it from a basic tray system is that the frame does the alignment work for you. There's no eyeball the edges and hope step. The honest catch: because the frame is doing precision alignment, the glass itself is cut slightly conservative. Like the Ringke pick, it prioritizes a clean, gap-free seat over chasing every last millimeter of the curved edge. You're not getting a flush, edge-to-edge finish here. You're getting a very well-aligned protector that stops just short of the curve. It's also worth noting this specific listing is the standard Pixel 11 Pro version, not the XL. amFilm sells those as separate SKUs with separate part numbers. So if you're buying for a Pro XL, you need the other listing. Verdict: for anyone who's had a screen protector installation go sideways before, bubbles, dust, crooked placement, this is the safest bet on the list. Best for buyers who value a foolproof install over maximum edge coverage. This next pick takes the opposite approach. It leans into automated dust removal instead of a rigid frame. At number 3, SMARTDEVIL's tempered glass protector for the Pixel 11 Pro uses what the brand calls its One Press Fit system, an auto-dusting and adhesive positioning tray designed to pull loose particles away from the screen before the glass makes contact. SMARTDEVIL markets this line as military-grade shatterproof. To be precise about what that means, this is a brand self-certification, not a named MIL-STD test standard. SMARTDEVIL states the glass has been through internal SGS-certified stress testing, but there's no public MIL-STD-810 documentation attached to this specific SKU. So treat military grade here as marketing language backed by an internal test, not a third-party military spec. The honest catch? SMARTDEVIL's Pixel lineup has historically run a few different pack configurations: 2-pack, 3-pack, 3+1 with a camera lens protector, across different pixel generations, and the exact inclusions can vary by listing. Confirm the specific pack size and whether a camera lens protector is bundled before you check out, since the base glass-only version and the bundle version are priced and packaged differently. Verdict: this is a solid middle-of-the-pack option if the dust removal tray works as advertised, which is a genuinely useful feature for anyone installing in a non-clean environment, like a car or a dusty apartment. Best for buyers who've had dust under glass problems with past protectors and want a tray built specifically to solve that. If dust removal tech is the deciding factor for you, the next pick pairs that same idea with a coating upgrade most budget glass skips. At number 2, TOCOL's protector for the Pixel 11 Pro pairs 9H Plus tempered glass with what TOCOL calls a nano anti-fingerprint coating, a smoother, more oleophobic surface finish than the standard oil-repellent layer most budget glass ships with. In practice, that means less visible smudging after a call and a slicker swipe feel, which is a real, testable difference in surface friction, though the exact degree varies by unit and TOCOL doesn't publish an independent lab figure for it. So file that as a qualitative upgrade rather than a measured spec. TOCOL also backs this with a 365-day replacement warranty, which is longer than most budget glass in this category and worth factoring in if you're prone to installation mishaps. The honest catch: TOCOL's listing describes 8 feet military-grade shatterproof protection. Same caveat as SMARTDEVIL above. This is TOCOL's own drop height claim, not a certified MIL-STD-810 rating with a named test number. It's a real internal test claim from the brand, just not third-party verified. So weigh it as a company-stated figure rather than an independent certification. Verdict: the coating upgrade and the warranty length are the two things that push this above SMARTDEVIL and amFilm. It's a meaningfully nicer daily use surface for a small step up in attention to detail. Best for buyers who touch their phone constantly and are tired of wiping smudges off glass every 20 minutes. Here's what separates our winner from everything else on this list. It's the only one of the 5 with a documented lifetime replacement policy instead of a capped warranty window. At number 1, the TAURI tempered glass protector for the Pixel 11 Pro takes the top spot because it combines TAURI's guide frame installation system, a 2-step alignment method the brand has refined across multiple Pixel generations, from the Pixel 8 Pro through the current lineup, with a genuinely open-ended lifetime guarantee on manufacturing defects, not a 365-day cutoff like TOCOL. That installation system uses a rigid outer frame plus an inner guide sticker, which in practice gives you 2 chances to get the placement right before the adhesive sets, rather than one irreversible drop like a single tray system. The honest catch: TAURI doesn't publish a specific edge coverage spec the way some competitors tout full edge-to-edge, and this brand's listings for other Pixel generations have occasionally shipped as privacy or standard variants under similar naming. So before you check out, confirm the listing you're buying explicitly says standard clarity glass and not a privacy filter version, since a privacy screen will darken your display at an angle, and that's not what most buyers coming from a countdown like this one are looking for. Verdict: nothing